1, 2, 3, and 4, and she's all in triples, and we'll go over that in a second. And we're going to bring the lady out to a stop. So normally what we can do here, and it's kind of adjustable, and this is a good lead and follow one because it's good to have something that's adjustable. When we say a tummy push, what we're actually doing is like a sugar push. And in a basic tummy push, normally when you're just doing one, the man stays directly in front of the lady and comes back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So it's walk, walk, tap, step, triple step. Same thing for the lady. And as we come up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, because I'm going to adjust it, I'm actually going to get back out of the slot and stay out of the slot and be able to bring the lady back and forth. So after she does her 1, 2, tap, step, she's going to go into triple steps. So when she comes in, 1, 2, touch, and triple step, triple step, triple step, triple step, and out. All right, and you'll find that it's very, very easy to at least be able to stall with, okay? And what'll happen is you'll have, and I hope we have some West Coast music being queued up, you'll have the idea of being able to just wait for the break. Now, sometimes in lead and follow, guys, when you're first not familiar with the song, you won't always know how much time it is till the break. You'll think you know, but sometimes you'll start early and go, oh gosh, I'm early. Well, I guess we do this move a few thousand times, don't we? And then when it comes up, you can bring the lady out to the break, okay? Now, you're also going to find sometimes that it's not evenly timed. And what happens is, you'll be bringing her up here, and you'll have gone through this movement a couple of times, and all of a sudden, the break's going to happen now. And I see guys sometimes stop right here. Kind of fun, but not necessarily what we're after, okay? So guys, you have to adjust this based on where it is. If you feel like you're bringing her in one more time, then you should, all right? For instance, if you brought her back and forth a few times, and all of a sudden, you have her in this position, and the break is about to happen in about 2 beats, you're going to have to stop her here and bring her back kind of quickly. Now, when that happens, notice how I jumped back as well. Usually, when I have to adjust very quickly, I'm going to step out so the lady does not have to go too far to hit the break. Okay? And I have no clue when we play the music where we're really going to be. So it might be there. The other side of the coin will be if I get her into the position and I know that I'm a little early. Then I sort of hold her there and toss her back out. And we're going to try it a few times. But this way, it's like if we're coming through the movement a few times, I might actually hold her and push it out. And normally the girls sort of know what's going on. We hope, okay? Otherwise you get these strange looks like, what is he doing? Have we got some West Coast music there? Well, this is a good one. I guess we could just dance.
She spills out regret in perfect time. Well, I thought I wanted freedom, but that ball and chain I need. When you choose, sometimes you lose the prize.
Okay, that time I held her a long time, and we were coming up to that break, and I wasn't quite sure where it was, so I had her in, and it's so slow, I sort of went with her and tossed her out. Okay, we're going to try it on the other side. Have you got it there, Dave? Now, this is a slow one. We might find some faster ones here in a second. But as we do this again, all we're doing is going into it. Go ahead, anytime.
She spills out regret in perfect time. Well, I thought I wanted freedom, but that ball and chain I need. When you choose, sometimes you lose the prize. She got the rhythm.
Of course, you have to start again on 1, which I'll try to remember next time. All right, so that's kind of a good one. And again, that time we had her in on a perfect timing, and we're able to bring her back out. Okay? So you can either hold them back a little bit or get them back kind of quickly, and they can hit the break. Now, ladies, when he goes if he does something radical, look for his hand, okay? If he does something like this and a break's coming up, look for the hand. He's going to stop you. Guys, don't trust she's always going to grab you. You got to have both ends covered, okay? When I go to toss the lady out, I'm going to bring my hand along her shoulder and feel for the arm. And sometimes I'll actually catch the wrist because I'm not sure, depending on how much force is used, and you're not trying to use a lot of force, but the activity of stopping creates force, and sometimes it's kind of good to catch the wrist. Depends on what kind of jewelry they've got on, too. Okay, but as we do this, now that was 1. We like to take this a step further in West Coast. And really, we've got quite a few break patterns we're going to go over. 1 is a sneak up. And in a sneak up, it's the same thing. We're doing this pattern, and at a certain point when the break is going to come up, I'm going to walk around the lady and surprise her, all right? And that's what's going to happen on a break. Now, to do that, there's several different ways to do this. When you bring the lady around and you're coming through the movement, you're actually stopping her and bringing her back towards you. But as I do that, I hold her with the other hand, this hand right here. All right, as I come around, I hold her with this hand to control where she's going to be. If I were to let her keep going, which they do sometimes, I would not be able to make the sneak up. I'd be too far away. So as we do this, I'm going to bring her back and forth a few times, and then as I come around, I'm going to sort of control with this hand where she stays, with the right hand. And from that point there, I'm going to jump right in front of her, and usually what's going to happen, and guys, don't be afraid of having her knock the hat off. It could happen, okay? But just start low, and she'll usually see it. Believe me, if she sees the hat coming at you, she's going to raise the hand, and you can sneak up, okay? Ladies, raise your hand. Sometimes we go to sneak up on you, and this hand is sort of right here, and we're kind of like, I don't know if I can make it. And if that happens, guys, and you see that hand right here, just take this other hand, and as you're coming by, sneak up, okay? Because it'll help instead of knocking the hat off. Okay, so as we do this, and I'm just going to play the music and see how it goes. And if I make it, I make it. If I don't, it'll be funny. We'll see if we make it. We made it. Okay, so that was one of those, and I wasn't quite sure of that song either, but at least it's adjustable because she's coming back and forth, and I know that break's sort of coming up. It's a 5, 6, 7, 8 break. I'm going to come around and hit the break. And it's kind of cute. A sneak up usually gets a good reaction out of the ladies. Sometimes it doesn't, but at this point, and again, when we do these in a sneak up movement, I kind of want to go over this. Just for social dancing, it's okay how you do it. In competition dancing, try not to do this, guys. Not a great line, okay? So a lot of guys, when they sort of squat, and what I kind of like to think of it as is that I'm just sort of ducking underneath the arm and standing up rather than getting down real low. Some of you will find, too, in competition that some guys use that momentum as she's coming back, and as she's coming back, you can take that left foot and sweep around, and that's kind of a nice way to do a sneak up. Okay, we're going to take it to a couple other ways. One of which is a toss. And this is nice out of a sugar push. And in the toss, it's a two-hand toss, but what we're going to do, and this is kind of an advanced move, and Dawn's going to give us a couple ways to do it. Coming out of a sugar push, 1, 2, touch, step, triple step. I'll use both hands and bring her across in front to the left. And as I do that, she's going to run by and step and drop. Okay, and that's the movement that we're going to do. Now, as we do this, and we demonstrated that once before, again, it depends on how stretched you are. You don't have to go way down to the ground. But as we bring the lady across, she's going to step forward because she's always starting with her right foot. She's going to step with the right. 1, 2, and 3 is usually what happens. Okay, and she'll usually turn out that foot and hit a nice lunge line, and it depends on where it is. And the guys, of course, have to anchor. Now, you also could do that in social dancing. The lady's not going to necessarily know to do that. So she might come by and just hit a stop for you. 1, 2, and stop. But again, you need to be able to have that amount of resistance. And to be honest with you, guys, and ladies, this is kind of good for you to know. If he throws you by, he's going to want you to try to stop. Okay? If he really gives you a little extra pull across, and this is a little more advanced, but if he gives you that pull, it means try to stop yourself. We're going to help, but try to stop yourself. So as you bring her by with a little extra force and hit. Now that's a good one because you can do that anytime. The only problem with it is, depending on if you're in competition, you need to set it up so you're facing the audience. Okay, this is our audience. These are our judges or audience, depending on which one you choose. Okay, but you're going to want to make the move happen this way, okay, rather than this way, okay, where you didn't get to see it. All right, so sometimes you may find that you have to do a couple of sugar pushes on this side, waiting for the move, and then we hope the ladies have some syncopations they can use while you're on that side, okay? David, we got a little bit of West Coast, whatever you have.
Leaving past you,
Oh, a nice slow one, thanks. We'll wait for it. Make up some sugar pushes.
Sometimes you lose the pride. She got the rhythm, and I got the blues.
And of course, you got to come back out on one. Good. All right, so that was the drop one. And we're going to give you one more before we take a break and come back with some two-step breaks. And the next one, and this is really more for competitors, and I'd prefer that if you guys are not competitors, you should purchase one of our other tapes to learn how to do the whip tunnel. We're just going to give you the whip tunnel break in West Coast, okay? But this one's going to come from an underarm turn, and we'll show you how it goes. It goes 1, 2, 3, and 4, switch hands and get up next to the lady. And what's going to happen is we're going to bring her through and stop her facing the audience, coming through for the break. 1, 2, and turn and stop. All right, so you can use a whip tunnel break. Now again, this one is not the easiest one to do lead and follow, because when you get into the mode of even doing an underarm turn, you really have to get yourself set up for the underarm turn and know exactly how many counts you have. So you're dealing with 2 6-count patterns here. This one is one of those that you would set up more if you were going to do it in competition. You could, however, if you got there early, guys, you could sort of walk with the lady, and that would waste a couple of beats to get to the break. So that's the whip tunnel break. We'll be back with some two-step breaks.